guys, welcome back to Home with the Hearst. I'm Megan, and today I'm going to give you a tour of our home grocery store. Okay, so let me give you a little bit of a backstory. First off, what this room used to be. This room used to be a enclosed back porch. When we first bought this house, if you have been following for a long time, then you will know that it was the very first project that we committed to, and that was ripping everything out because it smelled so bad. The previous owners housed probably around 20 cats back here, and they did not keep up with the kitty litter. It smelled terrible. It had linoleum floors, probably like, I think there was like 11 windows along the back porch that were rusty and they didn't open very well or shut. There was 2 doors that were just wooden on there. They had cat doors. It was a really bad area. So we ripped out all the linoleum and left the doors open to let it air out, and we fixed the roof because it was leaking, and that mostly got rid of the smell. It took probably a couple of years for it to finally go away completely. And then it just sat here. We stored bikes and wood and just clutter on the back porch because we didn't really have any extra space for that type of stuff, and so that's what we stored on the back porch. And then my neighbor had an idea that we move our very small hallway laundry room to the back porch. And I thought, that's an amazing idea. And when we get the money to do that, we can work on that. So right before we started building onto our house, I asked a friend of ours to come get started on the back porch because to be able to organize them, I needed more space. There was just no getting around it. So I asked my husband and we talked about it, and I wanted to go ahead and get this back porch insulated, wired up for lights, and closed in so that we could add it on to our house. So I kind of went back and forth on how we were going to renovate this space, and I knew I didn't want the length of our house, which I think that the length of this whole back porch was probably around 30 feet. I didn't want a 30-foot long laundry room. Like, that's way too big. So we split it in half. We put the laundry room really close to the entrance to the back porch, and then we put our other room, and I had just labeled it a storage room, on the other side. So as the thoughts evolved, I was thinking we'll just do bulk kitchen goods back here. We'll just put, you know, things that, utensils that we don't use very often, like my canner or my dehydrator, things like that. We'll just stick it back here, and that will help me to declutter my kitchen and not have so much stuff going on, because the cabinet space in my kitchen is still pretty atrocious. So this was my idea. And then as I started thinking, my pantry, which will eventually be moved into my laundry area that was there originally in the little closet, I was like, man, it would be really nice if all of our bulk foods, our bulk canned goods that I can or that we buy, I buy 25 pounds of flour at a time, usually 2 to 3 bags for Measure Standard. We have freezers that were downstairs and another refrigerator for our milk that we get from a local farm here. And I was like, wouldn't it be awesome to be able to just walk right outside of the kitchen to our back porch and take this stuff to the kitchen? And then the idea formed, we could have our own grocery store. So I quickly had them finish up the walls and put it in a new window, which honestly probably didn't even need a window in here, but the window idea came before I was thinking that it would be like a bulk food storage. My dad laid the flooring for in here, and this was flooring that was given to us, so it was really nice that they had enough left over that we could just floor it in here. It's engineered hardwood, so it's really nice, and it was just kind of a blank slate. The kids and I got to work on some school projects. Thank you.
No.
And we built shelves, and they also helped me lay the trim down on the floor, or for the floorboards. So it was pretty cool to work with them on this. And once it came together, I was so excited that things were going to be super organized. I have been craving organization in my house, especially since January of 2024 this year. They started on our addition, and we've had boxes everywhere and construction going on, and I just really wanted some space to get organized and be able to find things. And yes, so I was so excited about that. Once we got the shelves built, it was time to stock them. So the kids and I took all of the stuff that I had been canning and we put them on the shelves. There was some bulk foods that we had already bought that I was able to put on the shelves too. We found a lot of things that we forgot that we had, like 2 huge boxes of late July chips. Apparently something got moved during the construction and I didn't see them until we were cleaning everything out and moving it. So thankfully we found those, and now we have a full shelf of chips. We are okay on chips for a long time. So here's the tour part of our grocery store. First off, right here to my right, we have our hard white wheat. These are grains, and I had planned on milling them at a friend's house, and it just hasn't happened yet. So we've got those, which these keep for a long time, thankfully. We have some pastry flour, we have some brown rice flour, some bread flour, baking powder, and sea salt. We have some macaroni and cheese boxes, which honestly, those will last us about a month total. I think we got 12 of them and there's only 6 left. So the kids like to have that. It's very quick. You want down? Have a baby with me. So we keep all of our flours on this shelf. Right up above it, we have bulk spices. No, no, no. You come here. So right up above it, we have some spices that I have in a container. These are just bulk spices. I do plan on having them better organized later, but for now, that's where they go. Right next to it, I have some noodles, and I love to make my own noodles. These are for emergencies whenever we just don't have time for noodles, or for some reason we ran out of flour or something like that. I did try to make my own noodles and dry them out. So these are in little swirls. You can kind of see that, little swirls. And I tried to do that in my dehydrator, and they all clumped together, and it left a big wad whenever I tried to boil them. So we're gonna have to try that again and do a different technique because it just didn't work out for me. I have some white rice that we had to buy in a pinch because Azure just didn't have enough rice, I guess, for a certain delivery. Buddy, please, stop it. All right, let's put you down again. He is down here playing with the onions, so hopefully he doesn't tear into one. Up above that, we have a gallon of maple syrup and a gallon of avocado oil. We like to buy these by the gallon. 1, because we use them a lot, and 2, it's cheaper to buy by the gallon. On this shelf over here, which looks very bare, we have some herbs that I have dried or dehydrated in my dehydrator, and then labeled them, put them in a jar, and we should have those. No! 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 So down here with the baby, we have onions. I buy those in bulk from Azure Standard. Sweet potatoes, I buy those in bulk from Azure Standard as well. For those of you that don't have the space to garden or aren't very good at gardening, this is a very doable thing to buy your stuff in bulk and store it in a space that you may have. So I have not been very good at growing sweet potatoes yet. I've tried onions for the past 2 years and haven't been very good at that either, so we buy them from people that know how to grow them. I have an extra bag of all-purpose flour, as well as a bucket of all-purpose flour. So these 5-gallon buckets hold our all-purpose flour, sugar, rice, and oats when we are not out of them. As Your Standard did not have them in bulk the last time. So, and then I have my pumpkins back here that I did grow. These are pretty awesome. They're very pretty. I don't know if I did them right. One of them is very soft on the top, and this one feels like it's got juice coming out of it. So it's one of those where I may end up just chucking them to the chickens, so at least they won't get wasted, but we'll try again next year. So on the shelves behind me are some of the things that I canned myself and some of the things that we bought in bulk. So we have cream of mushroom. I don't use this a lot in the summer, but in the winter time when it comes to casseroles or soups, these are really nice to throw into those. We have some condensed milk, sweetened condensed milk. I like to make a key lime pie, and so that's for that. We have some liquid aminos, have some jellies that I canned. This is pretty cool. We have Concord grapes, and this is the first year that I've made anything from them. They are so sour to eat by themselves, but throw a little sugar in there and you make a great jam. We have a bottle of grapeseed oil, which I don't typically use to cook with, even though it says it's a high heat cooking oil. I usually use it for my skin and use it to take off my makeup. So we have a little bit of cereal. I buy this in bulk for my daughter. It's a gluten-free cereal. She likes to do gluten-free stuff. We have pickles over here and some jalapenos. And looking at my stuff that I canned, I feel like I did not do a very good job this year. I should have gotten a lot more. I didn't get as many tomatoes as I thought I would. Again, I think that it was the placement of my vines, my trellis, my gardening skills, so I get a little bit better every year. This was by far my best harvest in the garden this year, but still not grand compared to others. So we have some of my tomato sauce that was canned, and then I have some tomato sauce from As Your Standard, and we have some organic crushed tomatoes. So I use that for pizzas and soups and for like spaghetti, pasta, and I'm learning a lot of Italian cooking, so there's lots of red sauce in there. And I will say, if you have to buy your own tomato sauce and not make it, these are probably my favorites, and they have really good flavor, and it's just really, really good. So they must have been canned fresh. We have some sparkling water. We also have some bone broth here. It's just plain, as well as some veggie soup and some chicken and veggies soup. So this stuff was so easy to make. I made it in a big jar, and this was from a rooster that we had culled, and I didn't want the meat to go to waste, so putting it in a jar, you cut up the chicken raw. Actually, no, this one I actually cooked beforehand. I put all the vegetables and the rooster into the crock pot, filled it up with water, added some salt, and then once that was ready, I put half of the stuff, like chicken and vegetables, half of the jar, filled the rest up with the broth, and then I canned it according to my canning instructions. And my husband had this when he was sick a few weeks ago. It was really nice because I was super busy with the kids and I didn't really have a lot of time to let the chicken thaw and cook and then add the vegetables and all that stuff. No, buddy. So it was really nice to be able to just pop open a can, heat it up on the stove for him, and he was able to eat on that and be nourished quickly, but in a really good way. We also have some store-bought chicken bone broth. Not as good, does not taste as good, but it's there for emergencies. So down here, Nehemiah is showing us all of our late July chips, which I did not know we had this many chips. Actually, this whole shelf was filled up. We've eaten some of them. And when we were renovating downstairs, cleaning out stuff, we found 2 boxes that the builders had moved to the side and like kind of hidden from us. All right, sorry if there's lots of chip noises. He's cleaning out my shelf. Up here, I store my out-of-air vacuum sealing bags, which I talked to you guys about in my last video. And my vacuum sealer. These are the bags that my vacuum sealer came with. They're not very good. They're very thin, but I don't know, maybe we can use them for craft supplies or something later on. I don't know. But anyways, I keep all of those up here nicely organized. We have some marshmallows here for when we go camping. These are for camping. These are more for like treats here. These don't roast very well. These roast well. We have some baby puffs. My husband eats a lot of sardines, and so he keeps them piled up back here. And yeah, so that's everything on the shelves. There goes the baby. Okay, so right here we have a lot of egg cartons. So I have yet to get a lot of eggs that are super clean, because yeah, that's one of my kids' chores, is to take care of the chickens, and so she just doesn't pay attention to detail quite as much as I would like her to, and so the eggs are usually pretty dirty, so we have to wash them, put them in the fridge, and eventually I will get to cleaning out the coop and figuring out a solution to the problem of dirty eggs. In here, and then down under this other shelf, we have more canning jars. I have my canner here, and then my water bath canner here. These have come in handy, and it's really nice to have all of this stuff on my back porch so that I can just quickly grab it when I need to, and then it's stored away when it's not canning season. We have 2 deep freezers back here, which are fairly empty right now. I think that's a rooster, and there may be some other things of meat down there. We have some frozen blueberries in here, and then some tongs. This is our ice cream bowl that we have to have. There's a ham there. So eventually these will be filled up come this fall when our beef and our pork are butchered, and so we are buying them from a local farm, and they butcher them. It's a Mennonite farm, so they don't have electricity, so we have to butcher them in the colder weather. In here is our frozen mozzarella and cheddar cheese. We have mushrooms and zucchini, which we have not freeze dried, but vacuum sealed in our out of air bags. I'll leave a link for you guys down below if you want to get those. And then we have some organic livers that we feed to our dog. Here we have some bulk butter, some carrots, cabbage, and then lots of milk, sour cream, and cottage cheese, which I need to be making cottage cheese and sour cream from all this milk. The refrigerator is super dirty, and I just haven't had a chance to clean it, so sorry you had to see that. Last but not least are our toiletries. We keep our paper towels back here, and then we have some gallon jars in here and some vases for my flowers. Oh, and I have to mention these cute little curtains that I sewed. They are not perfect. You can see right up here where I accidentally sewed the whole thing all the way across. There's no hole, and I just cut a hole open, so they're not seen very often, so I figured it would be okay. Well, you guys, thank you so much for watching this video. I am so excited to have my own home grocery store, and I hope that maybe you have the chance to do this at your house. And if you do, I would love to hear about it in the comment section below. What would you stock it with? Do you can your own food, or do you buy it from the store? I would love to know in the comment section below. You can click on my channel to watch more videos on storing and preparing, and my baby's about to start walking. I did not want to miss that. You can watch my video for more things on homesteading, homemaking, and living a holistic lifestyle. I am Megan, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.